Have you ever felt like someone was telling a story about you that wasn't quite true? Imagine if the whole world believed that story, but your family knew the real truth. This is a story about a very famous woman named Meghan and her brother, Thomas Jr. For a long time, people thought Meghan's life was like a beautiful fairy tale. They thought she worked very hard and then found her Prince Charming. But now, it is the end of the year 2025, and things are changing very fast. Her brother is finally telling his side of the story. He is saying that the fairy tale might not be what it seems. He is talking about big secrets, fancy boats, and a father who is very sick. He wants people to know what happened before she became a princess. This is a very serious and sad story about how a family broke apart and how the truth is finally coming out after many years. It is about why people are angry and why a brother decided to stop being quiet. This story is important because it shows that even the most perfect-looking lives have secrets hiding in the shadows. Let's look at what he said and why it matters so much to everyone right now. Hey Meghan, I really hope you are watching this video right now. I hope you are looking at your screen and listening to what I have to say because this is very important for you to hear. It is time for you to face the things that are being said about you by the people who know you best. I truly hope you are paying attention right this second, Meghan. I want you to hear these words because you have done things that have really hurt other people. I want you to know that people are finally starting to see who you really are and what you have done to your own family. I am saying this because I think you have been a very bad person to humanity. You have left a mark on the world that is not good at all. It is like a messy stain on a clean shirt that will not go away, and I think it is important for everyone to know the truth about your actions. People thought Meghan would cry on camera when she heard the news. She did not. When she heard her brother was finally talking to everyone, she was just very quiet. It was a scary kind of quiet. It was the kind of quiet that happens when someone says something out loud that can never be taken back. She didn't post any quotes or letters. She just stayed still. There was a video just a day or two ago that said Meghan and Harry are having a lot of trouble with their marriage. I told people this would happen a long time ago. I saw the signs before anyone else did. It seems like the problems I saw back then are finally starting to happen now for everyone to see. This time, the news was not just a silly story in a magazine. It was not a person who didn't want to say their name. It was not just someone on TV who was guessing. This time, it was her own brother speaking. He was opening doors and telling secrets that he had kept hidden for many, many years. Thomas Jr. did not start slowly. He did not use soft words to try to sound nice. He spoke like a man who knew he was right all along. He sounded like someone who gave a warning a long time ago that no one would listen to. Now, he thinks the world is finally seeing that his warning was true. A long time ago, people laughed at his warning. It made people think he was a bad person. But now, 7 years later, the things he said look very real. Back in 2018, before the big royal wedding, Thomas Jr. did something very brave. He wrote a letter to Prince Harry and told him the truth. In the letter, he told Prince Harry not to marry his sister. He didn't say it in private. He said it so everyone could see. He called her fake and said she was a bully who used people. He warned Harry that she would pull him away from his family and break all of his important relationships. Back then, everyone was very mean to Thomas Jr. for writing that letter. They said he was just jealous and bitter. They thought he was just trying to get attention during a happy time. People on the internet said mean things to him. The news said he was wrong, and Prince Harry did not listen to him at all. I would never want my worst enemies to have to go through the things that are happening now. It is a very sad situation for everyone. Even if someone is not a nice person, seeing a family fall apart like this is very hard to watch. It is something that no one should ever have to deal with. Now it is December of the year 2025. The sad things Thomas Jr. talked about are not just guesses anymore. They are real. The royal family is broken. Harry does not talk to his brother anymore. They have left their royal life forever. There are many fights, big interviews, and many broken friendships that go all the way from London to Hollywood. Then there is her father, who is 81 years old. He had a very scary surgery because his leg was in bad shape. It was so bad that his leg turned black and blue. The doctors had to work very fast to save him. He had a long surgery that lasted 3 hours, and he had to have part of his leg taken off. He had to stay in the intensive care unit because he was very sick. There were days when the doctors didn't know if he would live. Thomas Jr. was there the whole time. He sat in the cold hospital rooms and talked to the doctors. He watched his father wake up and realize his life would never be the same. Thomas Jr. lives with his father now. He is the person who takes care of him every single day. It is very hard work to help an old man who is sick. It is tiring for his body and for his feelings. He is the one doing all the hard work that a family is supposed to do together. But Meghan did not come to help. She only sent a letter through other people. She did not call him on the phone. She did not send a video or fly on a plane to see him. She treated her father's emergency like a business problem that needed to be managed instead of a family member who was hurting. Thomas Jr. says that was the moment everything changed. You can forgive a lot of things, like being far away or having old fights, but when someone does not show up when you might die, it changes how you feel forever. He felt like he didn't need to protect her image anymore because she didn't care about their family. He realized that staying quiet was helping her do the wrong thing. That is when he decided to write a book. He was tired of all the lies and the nonsense. He wanted to tell the world the real story about what was happening behind the scenes so that everyone could know the truth. People had been asking Thomas Jr. to talk for a long time. Movie makers and book writers offered him money to tell his story. He said no many times because he thought family should stay private, but now he feels like a line was crossed and he has to speak up for his father. His new book is not just about small fights between siblings. It is about the years before Meghan was famous. It is about her life before she was on TV or met the prince. He says the official story she tells about those years does not match what actually happened in real life. She tells a story that she was a poor actress who could barely pay for her house. She says she worked very hard and had small jobs, but there are photos that show her on very expensive boats. These boats are in fancy places like the Mediterranean and Monaco with very rich and powerful people. One of the places she went was a very special trip in a country called Croatia. Only very rich people get invited to go there. It is a place where you need a lot of money or very important friends to get in. You don't just end up there by accident if you are a poor actress. Meghan has never told anyone how she got to go on those expensive trips. She never said who paid for her or who invited her. She keeps saying she had no money, but her life looked very fancy back then. She never answered the hard questions about how those two things could both be true. Thomas Jr. says he remembers those years very well. He remembers the fancy life she had and the important people she knew long before she was a star. He says she didn't get famous just by working hard at auditions. He says she got ahead because of the people she knew and the places she went. She knew a man named Trevor who helped her get into Hollywood. She also spent time at a very private club called Soho House where powerful people meet. She had a friend named Marcus who knew everyone important. Thomas Jr. says this is how she really became famous, by being near powerful people. He claims that when you understand who she knew, her success makes sense. Her TV show didn't just happen by luck. Meeting Prince Harry didn't happen by luck either. All of these things happened in the same fancy world. Princes don't meet strangers. They meet people who are already in their circle. Everything was planned out. Meetings that looked like they happened by chance were actually organized by friends. Thomas Jr. isn't trying to be mean. He's just trying to show that the story Meghan tells the world isn't the whole truth. He wants people to see the real path she took to get where she is. This is why Meghan is very scared of her brother's book. Her whole life is built on a specific story she told everyone. If that story has holes in it, then everything else she has done might look bad too. People might stop believing her shows and her speeches about being a good person. It is hard to believe her speeches about being kind and honest when her own brother is saying something else. She makes videos about being a good friend while her father is very sick in another country. He is learning how to walk again without his leg, and she is not there to help him. Thomas Jr. says seeing the difference between her fancy life and their father's struggle is what made him talk. He asks why he should protect a sister who won't even help her own dad. He thinks it is wrong to stay silent when his silence only helps someone who walked away from the family. So now he is writing it all down. He is not just whispering secrets anymore. He is writing a whole book. People are worried because the things he said in 2018 came true. Now they wonder if this book will finally show how she really became famous and what she hid from the world. The scariest part of this story is how calm Thomas Jr. sounds. He doesn't seem happy or like he wants to get even. He just sounds very, very tired. He is tired of watching the world believe a story that he knows is not true. He has lived through the real version of events for many years. He doesn't act like he is a hero in a movie. He just says he stayed quiet for much longer than he should have. He feels like he let the lies go on for too long. Now he wants to fix that by telling everyone what he saw with his own eyes during their childhood and their adult years. He talks about how Meghan learned very early that being near rich people could help her. He says she knew exactly who was important and who was not. He claims she would be very nice to people who could help her, but she would stop talking to people who were no longer useful to her. Thomas Jr. says she was not just being mean, she was using a plan. He says she didn't just end up in fancy places, she worked hard to get there on purpose. Once she didn't need someone anymore, they would just disappear from her life. He says that even her own family was treated this way. People think she stopped talking to her family because of the news or because she was embarrassed, but Thomas Jr. says she started pushing them away a long time ago. Fame didn't make her act this way, it just made it easier for everyone else to see what she was doing to them. This is why the stories about her on fancy boats are more than just gossip. He says those trips were places where she could meet powerful people and make deals. It was a world where secrets are very important, and no one asks too many questions about how you got there or who you are. He says those years taught her how power works. She learned how to control what people thought about her. She became very good at telling a story that made her look like a hard worker while hiding the help she got from rich friends. She learned how to make herself look perfect to the public. She became an expert at erasing parts of her life that didn't look good. Friends who were no longer helpful were forgotten. Family members who might say something she didn't like were treated like they didn't exist. She smoothed over her past until it looked like a perfect movie script. When people ask why Thomas Jr. is talking now, he gives a very simple answer. He says the story she tells is just too perfect to be real. He also says he had to speak because his father almost died. That is the part that he cannot forget, no matter how famous his sister becomes. You learn how to deal with the pain. Thomas Jr. talks about sitting in the hospital after his father lost his leg. He listened to the machines in the room and realized that life is very short. He realized that you don't get a second chance to be there for your parents when they are old. He realized that making sure Meghan looked good to the world was not as important as being honest about their family. If she could stay silent while her father was in the hospital, then he didn't owe her any more secrets. He felt that being loyal to her was actually helping her be a bad daughter. The people who are making his book want to see proof. They want to see dates and names of the people she knew. They want to see the proof of where she went and how she got her big break. Thomas Jr. is ready to show them everything he knows about her life behind the curtain. That is why people say Meghan is very upset right now. It is not just another person being mean online. It is her brother, and he has information that other people do not have. He was there when they were growing up. He knows the things that she doesn't want the world to find out. For a long time, Meghan's plan was to just ignore the people who said bad things about her. She thought that if she stayed quiet, people would forget. But her brother's story is not going away. He is telling a long story that explains why she acts the way she does now by looking at her past. If he follows through with his plan, the book will explain the reasons why she left the royal family and why she doesn't talk to her relatives. It will show that these things are part of a pattern that started a long time ago. It is a plan she has been using since before she met Prince Harry. The story also talks about Harry. It says Harry is not a bad person, but he didn't understand what was happening. He thought love would fix everything. He thought that if they moved away, they would be happy. But instead, he ended up all alone without his family or his old friends. Thomas Jr. says he warned Harry this would happen in 2018. He saw that Meghan would slowly pull Harry away from everyone until he only had her to listen to. Now Harry is far away from his family, and Meghan is far away from hers. Both of their families are broken in the same way. There is only one person left to tell the story, and that is Meghan. But Thomas Jr. thinks that one person's voice is never the whole truth. He thinks it is time for the other voices to be heard too. He wants the world to know that there are two sides to every story, especially this one. This is not just about being mean or getting revenge. It is about the truth finally coming out. A family can only take so much before it breaks apart. When a sister doesn't call her sick father, the family cannot stay quiet anymore. The truth is more important than a pretty picture on a screen. Meghan's whole brand is about being a kind and honest person. But the person saying she is not those things is her own brother. He is standing next to their father, who is struggling to live. He is asking why she told so many lies and why she left the people who loved her behind. As the days go by, everyone is waiting to see what happens next. This isn't just about boats or parties or being a royal. It is about who gets to tell the story of the past. Once the people you left behind start to speak, you can no longer control what the world thinks about you. The story is starting to break into pieces. No matter how many letters she writes or how many speeches she gives, she cannot put it back together. The truth is coming out, and it is coming from her own family. The world is finally going to see the real Meghan, not just the one on TV.